Every video on this channel covers something Australians need to avoid. Today is different. The new Vehicle Efficiency Standard, the regulation we have covered extensively in our previous videos, is one of the most significant financial forces reshaping the Australian car market right now. We have shown you who it is penalising. We have shown you which cars are getting more expensive because of it, and which brands face 9-figure fines. Today, we show you the other side. Because NVES does not just create losers, it creates winners, and those winners are specific, identifiable, available right now on car sales and at dealerships across the country. These are the 10 cars that the regulatory environment is actively making more valuable, more supported by their manufacturers, and more likely to hold their price over the period you own them. Not in theory. In the data that already exists. Every car on this list earns NVES credits for its manufacturer. That means the manufacturer is financially incentivized to keep selling it aggressively, price it competitively, and support it with dealer and after-sales investment. Cars whose manufacturers earn credits from selling them are not going away, they are being pushed. And cars that are being pushed hold their value in the used market. Before the 10 cars, 30 seconds on the mechanism, because understanding it changes how you see every car purchase. Under NVES, every vehicle a manufacturer sells in Australia is measured against a CO2 target. Sell a vehicle below the target, earn a credit. Sell above, incur a penalty. Credits are worth real money. Doe calculated the mathematical floor for a single credit at $3.55. BYD earned 6.28 million credits from fewer than 40,000 vehicles in 2025 alone. At minimum floor value, that is $22 million of regulatory currency from a single year of Australian sales. The practical implication for buyers is this: manufacturers who earn credits want to sell more of the vehicles generating them. They have a financial incentive beyond normal profit to move these cars. That means competitive pricing, strong dealer support, active marketing, and continued investment in the model. Cars that earn credits for their manufacturers do not get quietly discontinued. They get pushed. And pushed cars hold their value. Here are the 10 you can buy right now. Car number 1. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. And we are putting it first not out of habit, but because the data justifies it on every single metric that matters. The RAV4 Hybrid emits 107 grams of CO2 per kilometre in 2WD form, which earns credits for Toyota under the 2026 NVES target. Toyota accumulated 2,890,625 NVES credits across its fleet in 2025, the largest single credit pool of any manufacturer in the country. The RAV4 Hybrid is a central pillar of that result. Toyota is financially motivated to keep the RAV4 Hybrid priced competitively, well supported at dealer level, and available in sufficient volume. Canstar's 2025 Redbook analysis shows the prior generation RAV4 Hybrid retaining 81 to 84% of its value at 3 years. The new 6th generation RAV4 Hybrid arrived in March 2026 to an order bank of close to 10,000 waiting buyers who committed before the car arrived. That is not a vehicle the market is uncertain about. That is a vehicle the market wants badly enough to pre-order. One important nuance from the car sales envy analysis: the RAV4 Hybrid Cruiser earns credits in 2026. But as targets tighten toward the 2029 deadline of 58 grams per kilometre, the same vehicle will eventually face penalties. For buyers purchasing now and selling in 3 years, 2026 and 2027 are the strongest NVES supported window. Buy now. Sell in 2028 before the tighter targets bite. Car number 2. The Toyota Camry Hybrid. Toyota axed the petrol Camry in Australia. From 2024, it is now hybrid only. That decision was driven precisely by the NVES logic we just described. Replace the petrol with the hybrid, reduce the fleet-wide CO2 average, earn more credits. The Camry Hybrid is particularly well positioned in fleet buying, the segment that makes up a significant portion of Camry purchases. Fleet managers running total cost of ownership models are increasingly choosing the hybrid over petrol alternatives because the fuel savings stack up meaningfully at 25,000 plus kilometers per year. Fleet demand is what creates consistent used car supply with genuine service histories. And genuine service histories are what produce strong private sale and trade in values. For a buyer considering the Camry Hybrid on the used market, the manufacturer's financial incentive to keep selling the new version aggressively means the new to used price gap remains healthy. You are not buying a vehicle whose manufacturer has abandoned it. You are buying the vehicle that manufacturer specifically chose to keep. Car number 3. The BYD Sealion 7, and with it, the broader argument for buying any BYD model right now. BYD generated 6.28 million NVES credits across less than 40,000 vehicles in 2025. On a per-vehicle basis, that is an average of 158 credits per car, compared to Toyota's 25 credits per vehicle across a much larger fleet. Every BYD vehicle sold in Australia is a battery electric vehicle generating zero tailpipe CO2 emissions and maximum credits for BYD's Australian operation. In April 2026, the BYD Sealion 7 was Australia's single most popular EV, selling 1,780 units in 1 month. BYD is now Australia's 6th largest brand overall year to date and recorded its highest ever monthly result of 702 deliveries in April. This is not a fringe brand hedging its bets. It is a brand that the regulatory environment specifically rewards, that has built a network of over 100 dealers and service centres nationally, and that is growing at 74.6% year to date in 2026. For the buyer, BYD's NVES credit surplus gives the company a financial buffer that competitor brands do not have. That buffer supports competitive pricing. BYD does not need to inflate margins to fund NVES penalties because it has no NVES penalties. Every dollar that a competitor spends on compliance is a dollar BYD does not spend. Car number 4. The BYD Atto 3, BYD's most established model in Australia and the one with the longest local track record. The Atto 3 has been on Australian roads since 2022. It has been through the local parts supply network, the Australian Dealer Service Network, and the Australian climate and road conditions for long enough that real owner data, not projections, exists. Product review. com.au shows consistent owner satisfaction with the vehicle's day-to-day reliability, charging integration, and after-sale support. The specific NVES advantage for the Atto 3 buyer is the same as all BYD products. BYD has every incentive to keep it priced aggressively and supported comprehensively. And because the Atto 3 earns maximum NVES credits, pure battery electric, zero tailpipe emissions, BYD is in a stronger position than any other brand to offer this vehicle at a competitive price point without compromising its overall commercial position. Car number 5. The Tesla Model Y. And we are recommending it in the same video where we have covered Tesla's difficult early 2026 because the ends picture and the infrastructure picture are more compelling than the monthly delivery volatility. Tesla accumulated 2,212,000 NVES credits in 2025 from just 13,900 and 7 vehicles, the highest credit-to-vehicle ratio of any brand except BYD. Tesla earns approximately 159 credits per vehicle sold. Every Tesla Model Y sold in Australia is a regulatory asset for Tesla's Australian operation. The Tesla Supercharger network remains the largest and most reliable fast-charging infrastructure in Australia outside capital cities as well as within them. For a buyer making an EV decision and concerned about regional charging availability, the Supercharger network is a genuine practical advantage that no other EV brand currently matches at the same geographic coverage. The Model Y topped Australia's EV charts in May 2026 with its highest monthly result. The volatility of early 2026 was a delivery cycle issue, not a demand issue. The order bank cleared and the registrations followed. Car number 6. And this one requires the most precise language of any vehicle on this list, because Kia sells 2 electrified versions of the Sportage in Australia, and the NVES story applies differently to each. The Kia Sportage Hybrid, the self-charging hybrid, not the plug-in, emits approximately 110 grams of CO2 per kilometre and currently earns NVES credits for Kia. Care Expert confirmed Kia is on the credit side of the NVES ledger. Kia's Australian sales are up 4.7% year-to-date in 2026, one of the few established non-Chinese brands actually growing. The Kia Sportage PHEV is a different vehicle with a different story. We covered the Sportage PHEV's 40% 3-year depreciation in detail in our hybrid SUV video. The PHEV badge, the oil dilution concerns, and the FBT exemption ending in March 2025 create specific resale headwinds for the plug-in version. The self-charging Sportage Hybrid does not carry those concerns. A Kia Sportage Hybrid earns its manufacturer credits. A Kia Sportage PHEV has the depreciation profile we warned about. They share a badge. They have different financial futures. Be specific when you search car sales. This channel publishes new research every week on the Australian car market, the data most buyers never see before they sign. Subscribe now. Every video we publish could save you thousands of dollars. Car number 7. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid. The most accessible entry point into NVES protected vehicle ownership in Australia. Toyota discontinued the petrol Corolla for the Australian market, replacing it with the hybrid-only lineup from 2023. The Corolla Hybrid contributes to Toyota's 2,890. 625 NVES credit total through its low CO2 emissions. It sells in high volume, which means the credit contribution per unit is multiplied across thousands of buyers. Toyota is not discontinuing the Corolla Hybrid. It is not reducing support for it. It is the entry-level model of a hybrid-only Corolla lineup that serves as a compliance foundation for the brand's entire Australian operation. For used buyers, the Corolla Hybrid from 2019 onwards is now appearing on car sales at 3 to 5-year-old pricing that represents a compelling proposition. A 2021 Corolla Hybrid with full Toyota service history for $22,000 to $26,000 is a vehicle whose manufacturer is still actively selling the new version, still investing in the service network, and still generating NVES credits from every new example, all of which support the used value through dealer trade in competition and buyer familiarity. Car number 8. The Ford Ranger PHEV, the newest vehicle on this list, and the one with perhaps the most compelling manufacturer-level financial motivation behind it. Ford faces potential NVES exposure of over $1 billion if it keeps selling Rangers and Everests as all diesel. We covered the $3,706 per vehicle calculation in our NVES Ranger video. The Ranger PHEV, which emits 66 grams of CO2 per kilometre and claims 2.7 litres per 100 kilometres, earns NVES credits for Ford. Every Ranger PHEV sold directly reduces Ford's penalty exposure on the diesel variants sold beside it. That creates a specific and unusual incentive. Ford has stronger motivation to price the Ranger PHEV competitively than almost any other vehicle in its range, because every Ranger PHEV buyer is saving Ford approximately the value of the diesel Ranger's NVES penalty. It starts at approximately $59,000 drive away in XL specification and rises through Sport and Wildtrak variants. It is more expensive than the diesel Ranger at entry level. But Ford's regulatory situation means the effective cost to the company of selling a Ranger PHEV at a small loss is significantly lower than the cost of the NVES penalty on an additional diesel Ranger. Watch for Ranger PHEV pricing and incentives to be competitive for exactly this reason over the 2026 to 2028 measurement period. Car number 9. The GWM Cannon Alpha PHEV. the vehicle on this list that will surprise the most viewers, and the one with the strongest practical case for regional and tradie buyers who need genuine towing capacity. GUIM generated approximately 405,000 NVES credit units in 2025, firmly on the credit side of the ledger. GUIM's lineup in Australia is built around PHEVs and EVs, which means every vehicle GWM sells earns regulatory currency. The Canon Alpha PHEV delivers 3,500 kg brake towing, matching the diesel Hilux and Ranger at the number that matters most to fleet buyers and tradies. It starts at $61,400 and $90 drive away. That price is more expensive than the BYD Shark 6 PHEV Ute and more expensive than some diesel equivalents. But GWM's NVES credit position gives it the same regulatory headroom as BYD, the ability to price competitively without funding a penalty burden. And the 3,500 kg towing figure removes the primary objection that limited PHEV Ute adoption in 2024 and 2025. This is the PHEV Ute that does what a diesel does for the buyers who need it most. Car number 10. The Chery Omoda 5, and with it, a broader point about the Chery and Omoda Jakku lineup more generally. Chery generated 633 NVES credit units in 2025 from its combined Chinese brand entities. Chery is up 69.5% year-to-date through April 2026, Australia's 9th largest brand, having overtaken MG, Volkswagen, Mitsubishi and Subaru in the year-to-date standings. The Omoda 5 is available in petrol, PHEV and EV variants, with the electrified versions generating NVES credits for the brand. The Omoda 5's price positioning is where the NVES dynamic is most visible. At entry pricing between $29,990 and $36,990, drive away for the electrified variants. The Omoda 5 sits in a price bracket where most competitors are petrol only and facing NVES penalties. Chery does not need to price the Omoda 5 at a loss to be competitive. It simply does not carry the compliance burden its petrol only competitors carry, which means every dollar of NVES penalty those competitors absorb is a dollar of headroom Chery has on pricing. One honest caveat, because this channel does not present buying guides without the complete picture. The NVES targets tighten every year until 2029. The passenger car target drops to 58 grams per kilometre by 2029, equivalent to 2.5 litres per 100 kilometres combined. Man of Many's analysis specifically noted that cars like the Kia Sportage Hybrid at 110 grams and the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid at 107 grams currently earn credits but would face harsh penalties by 2029. What this means practically, the NVES advantage for hybrids as opposed to pure EVs is strongest during the 2026 to 2027 window. From 2028, the targets bite harder and the hybrid's credits become thinner or disappear. For pure BEVs by Tesla, the Omoda 5 EV, the picture is different. Zero tailpipe CO2 earns maximum credits regardless of how tight the target becomes. The BEV earns credits in 2026, 2027, 2028 and 2029. For hybrid buyers on this list, RAV4 Hybrid, Camry Hybrid, Corolla Hybrid, Sportage Hybrid, buy now and sell by 2028. You own these cars during their strongest NVES window and exit before the targets shift against them. For BEV buyers by Tesla Omoda 5 EV, the NVES tailwind does not have a 2028 expiry. It runs as long as you own the car. 10 cars. 2 categories. 1 underlying principle. The 10 vehicles on this list are not the 10 most exciting cars available in Australia right now. They are the 10 cars whose manufacturers have the strongest financial incentive beyond standard profit to keep pricing them competitively, supporting them at dealer level, and investing in their ongoing availability. That regulatory tailwind is invisible in the sticker price. It shows up in the trade-in offer, the private sale price, and the used car market demand 3 years from now. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, Toyota Camry Hybrid, BYD Sealion 7, BYD Atto 3, Tesla Model Y Kia Sportage Hybrid, Toyota Corolla Hybrid, Ford Ranger PHEV, Dom Canon Alpha PHEV, Chery Omoda PHEV or PHEV. The NVES is the most significant regulatory force reshaping the Australian car market right now. The videos on this channel have shown you every car it is making more expensive. This is the video that shows you the 10 it is actively protecting. Subscribe now. Every week, we show you the data behind the Australian car market, the forces you need to understand before you spend $50,000 on the wrong side of them.